Today I'm talking about role-playing, how to use role-playing with the psychotherapy client. There are lots of reasons we might use role-playing with a client. One is for the client to practice a new skill, particularly an interpersonal skill. So if we want to help a client learn to say no to unreasonable demands, we might use role-playing. If we want to help a client learn to ask for things, such as a raise, we might use role-playing. There are other reasons for using role-playing. We might want to give a client new perspectives. So for instance, I might have a man and a woman reverse roles for a little while to see another perspective. Or if I have a client who's not carrying out home assignments, I might switch roles. That client can be the therapist for a short while and I'll be the client. So there are various reasons for doing role-playing with clients. It's not as easy as you might think to get clients to cooperate with it though. If you ask a child or an adolescent to role play, would you like to role play this with me? The common answer will be no. And then you're in a bind. So you don't want to ask that question. You want to follow a systematic process, and that's a process I'm going to describe right now. The first thing to do with a client is to establish rapport, which is a relationship of trust and confidence and comfort with you as the therapist. That may take a session or two or even more, it depends on the clients, but that's important to get the cooperation of the client in carrying out the role-playing. Now, if you're doing role-playing with a child or adolescent, it may help to exclude the parents from that session. Some children, adolescents, they'll feel embarrassed to act out a role in front of their parents, and they'll just refuse to do it because that parent is there. So we've got two: establish rapport. If it's a child or adolescent, try to exclude the parent. The third one is to model role enactment. So you take some role that's relevant to what you're working on with the client and you act it out. For instance, demonstrating how you want the client to behave in a certain situation. That modeling makes it more likely the client will cooperate with you and will enact the role himself or herself. Another thing that's important to do is don't call it role-playing. That's a strange term for people. They may have never done that. Instead say, we're going to practice, or I want you to show me this, act this out. That's all okay. Those words aren't so unusual, and they're not so likely to lead to resistance. The final step, the fifth step, is to tell the person that he or she is going to role play. Don't ask. Don't take the chance of a no. Just say, now we're going to act this out. I'm going to take this role. You take that role. Let's go into it. And this will help you learn the skill or learn another perspective. So you explain why you're doing it, and then you just introduce it as if it's a normal thing, which it is normal for you, and you want to be calm about it and firm that we're going to do it right now. So those are the 5 steps. Establish rapport. If it's a parent or child, try to exclude the parents. Model role enactment yourself. Call it practice or showing, and then tell the person, don't ask. Tell the person we're going to do it now. Just lead right into it. So that's all the setup, 5 steps. One more thing to do thinking about the future though, praise something or many things the client does in enacting that role. It can be the quality of the acting or some of the specific elements or just being willing to do it, just cooperating with it. You want to praise that role enactment or role-playing behavior, thinking that that will make it easier for the client to step into a role again in future sessions.